company. So I say, look, full disclosure, I'm going to say this is paid for by Smith & Wesson. Even though they didn't give me the money, I gave myself the money out of my own paycheck. And yeah, that's right, I purchased stocks this is not a recommendation. Please do your own research. But no, I appreciate knives, and I'm like, how can I, get back into my hobbies, the same but different, like real Japan, the same but different. So I've never been into throwing knives, and I'm like, why not try? Now is as good a time as any. I'm in my middle age. I'm in my mid-40s. Why not do it? And I say, look, shout out to Free Anderson. She's like, look, you want to be a cartoonist? No, I don't. You want to be a character actor? Maybe one day. No, I appreciate a lot of people, so I like to name drop them, be like, look, I think these people are cool. But I think I'm going to sharpen it just to give it that full potential of going into, I understand they just made it like a point. It's not sharp. But I'm like, look, I want to compete with myself. Okay, guys. No, I just wanted to show, these are the 8-inch. I practiced for like a few minutes. I got one to stick after, I don't know, I'm just going to guesstimate, maybe like 20, 30 throws. That's where I'm at, guys. Okay, my son, he tells me to shh. So I didn't want to make a long video. But Smith & Wesson, I think you're making cool stuff. So, I'm checking in with you guys and saying, I appreciate owning the shares, and I appreciate being able to buy the products. I've always felt like, even though there's a broad range in Smith & Wesson price-wise, the quality is always there. Even when you're buying a product that's $20, I think the quality's there. So shout out to you, Smith. Shout out to you, Wesson. Thank you guys for being together in Smith and Wesson. We're stronger together. Some people like to divide. I'm like, why can't I try to unite? So good morning. United we stand. Thank you. I'm just a silly guy. I like to make silly videos, but I do appreciate companies that create products that have value and that I like to buy and use and enjoy. And shout out to, I told my wife, I'm like, look, I missed the mark on your last present. I just got her a present because I was like, look, I was thinking of you. I thought it was the thought that counts, but she didn't like it. So I'm going to play Avatar. I call it Aviator, okay? But look, she didn't want the game. I said, look, it looked cool. I found it on sale. I wanted you to try it, but that's okay. I'm going to try myself. And then now I'm like, look, we're coming on our 10 years of being married. I'm like, look, what if we both started this hobby together? And she wasn't really cool with that. But look, I can pretend. I'm going to pretend my wife is going to be into throwing knives with me. And then I can pray. Look, I can pray. I can pretend that my wife and I can share this hobby together. Okay, guys? And even if she doesn't want to, I still think it's the thought that counts. Okay, thank you guys. I love you. I'm just messing around. My wife knows I'm just messing with her. Okay? Look, no hard feelings. Okay? I love her regardless. Thank you guys for letting me share. Thank you guys for letting me be on your planet. Thank you guys for letting me just interact with you on like a human level. I think that's hard to do sometimes. Some people, they just want to be upset. But I realize you people listening, watching on YouTube, you're there. You're there as a human being, not as a robot, not as a bot, but as a real human. And I thank you for that. I love you and I appreciate you. Have a blessed day.